Hey everybody, welcome to my cooking channel. Today we're going to be making a chicken mole. It's a Mexican dish. I'm going to be kind of cheating today, making a quick version. A lot of times you see this dish, it takes hours and hours to cook it, but I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to make it. It tastes really, really yummy. So I'm going to flip this camera around. So I said we're going to make a chicken mole today. I'm going to start out with a burner here with some olive oil. We've got a cup of raisins, some garlic, some fresh chopped garlic, and then we've got some chili and adobo. So it's one chili and adobo pepper, and then you can use a couple teaspoons or more, depending on how spicy you want it, of the adobo sauce. So we're just gonna cook this up a little bit, get this sauce spread out. In the oil, we're gonna chop this pepper up a little bit. I know it looks funny with the raisins, but trust me, in the end, it'll be worth it. So we're just gonna saute this up just a little bit, get it cooking. And I'll show you a couple of the other ingredients we're gonna do since we're kind of making a cheating version of this. I got a rotisserie chicken that I basically took most of the meat off of that we're going to use. You can use a baked chicken or you can poach chicken, however you want to do it. This is just a quick and easy way if you're home at night after work and you want to make a quick and easy version of this chicken mole. This is the way to go. Rotisserie chicken's always great. So this is sauteing over here now. And then as this is cooking here, I'll show you some other stuff we're going to be adding in. We're going to use a can of diced tomatoes. You can choose whichever brand you like. We're going to have 2 cups of chicken broth. We're going to be using some cinnamon. This happens to be Vietnamese cinnamon. Some chili powder, peanut butter, salt and pepper. We're going to be using some chocolate. Now, in the original real versions that are made in Mexico, they usually use Mexican chocolate. It's much better. But I didn't have time to look for that, so So we're gonna be using the Hershey's and hope it turns out okay. So we're gonna let this cook a little bit, and then we're gonna add the tomatoes in. Give that a stir. Incorporate all that in together. It's the first time I've tried to make this dish. I cook quite often, and you'll be seeing a lot of different recipes that I make. This is actually a new dish. I'm just trying it, so you guys are going to be experimenting for the first time. If you like it, click on the like button. If it's not that good, then let me know that too. Because I usually keep a recipe book of dishes that I make, and there's the ones that make the list and stay in the cookbook, and there's the ones that get made and they go right in the trash and never get made again. So while this simmers away for a couple minutes, I'll tell you a quick story about mole. I was researching this a little bit just to find out, what the background is, and I came up with this online story where it said that a legend on the creation of mole takes place at this convent in Santa Clara in Puebla in the early colonial period. The nuns had heard the archbishop was coming to visit, so they were freaking out because they didn't have any kind of food or any time to prepare. So they put together basically little bits of nuts and chili pepper spices, day-old bread, and then a little bit of chocolate. They killed a turkey, they cooked the turkey, they put the sauce over the top. The archbishop loved it. And so one of the nuns was asked, what's the name of this dish? And she replied, I made a mole. And back then, a mole was an archaic word for a mix. So that's kind of one story that I heard as the background of how it got its name. There's a few others that I saw that are out there also. They're all kind of related. But there's several regions in Mexico that make this dish. And just going to cook this up for a little bit. And then while this is cooking away, it's a little bit too high here. Let me turn this down. While this is cooking away here, we'll go over here and set up what we're going to blend together. because that sauce is going to go in the blender here in a second. So we're going to take, let's see, chili powder. This is hard to hold. I've actually got a tripod coming to make these things easier, but right now I'm having to hold this and try to do this. So it calls for 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I'm gonna totally wing it here because I only have one hand. That looks about right. And then we've got, let's see, how much cinnamon? Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm using this cinnamon here. It's a Vietnamese cinnamon, really yummy. I'll try to one-hand it. And this one I'm gonna measure. So it's a half a teaspoon of the cinnamon, which is this one. So I'm gonna do that. Put that in there. Got these out of the way. Give this a quick stir real fast. It's cooking pretty good. Just a little bit more. Come back over here. We can put this away. We can put the cinnamon away. Okay, we're gonna put some salt and pepper. This is going to be really hard to do with one hand. I might have to just put the camera down for just a second. Let's see if I can get a spot where you guys can watch this. Let's see, how's that? Perfect. So a little Himalayan sea salt. And then some black pepper. Calls for a teaspoon. I'm just gonna do my thing until I feel like it's about a teaspoon. Okay. How's this looking right here? Good, you can still see. Hello. So then we're going to use peanut butter. I know that sounds really weird, but this dish calls for 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. I use Smucker's Natural Creamy. Healthy for you. So 3 tablespoons. So there's 1. And there's the second one. And the third. Those are pretty big ones I did. Let's see if Coco the teacup wants to lick this. Want to try some? Come on. Most dogs like peanut butter. You don't like peanut butter? Okay. Weird little dog. Okay, so this is cooked down pretty good. That's about where we want it. I'm gonna turn this off. So we've got the peanut butter, the other stuff in here. We're gonna add the broth to this mix. And I'm gonna put you back over here on your little support thing. Nice of something to hold this with. We're gonna just scoop all this stuff into here. Tomatoes and raisins sounds like a weird kind of combination, but in this dish it actually works. Gives it a certain kind of sweetness. Also gives it some of the color that you see, the dark color that you'll see when we're done. Okay, got that. Now we're gonna blend this up. They always tell you about hot stuff is to keep a little that all pureed. Smells really yummy. If you could smell it, you'd be in heaven. We take this off, and then this is going to go right back in that pan. All right, so we've got it all back in the pan now. Do a quick cleanup. Hopefully I'll edit all this out. It's my first time doing this, so gotta bear with me, I guess, right? All right, so here it is back in the pan. Heat this back up. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna take these over here to the wash. Washed up a little bit. Making my peanut butter to stay on your stuff forever. Okay, back to it. Okay, next step we're gonna do is we're gonna let this cook for about, it's supposed to cook for 15 minutes. And then you basically add in the chocolate. Okay, so we're gonna, this calls for so if you had real chocolate, you would use basically like 1.5 ounces of unsweetened chocolate. But since we're using this, we're cheating. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons of this cocoa powder. That's gonna go into this, and then lastly, we're gonna put all the chicken in. And so I'm trying to decide if I should pause the video and start a new one, since this needs to cook for a little bit. Let's do that. Okay, everybody, we're back. The sauce has been cooking for 15 minutes. I've added the chocolate, so look at the dark, dark color it is now. It smells so good. I wish you could smell it. So it's been cooking, so the chocolate is in. I'm gonna add in now all the rotisserie chicken, except a little piece for my dog, Coco. We're gonna add the chicken in now. Let's get this all stirred, get it all incorporated inside. And it's pretty much done. Now what you can do is you can serve it a couple different ways. Sometimes you can serve it just with rice. You can make like a cilantro rice. I cheated. And I've got the Uncle Ben cilantro lime rice that takes 90 seconds in the microwave. So we're gonna do that. Cook by time, 90 seconds. We're gonna cook that. But what I was gonna do is, today I was gonna do a little bit different. I was gonna set up some little street tacos and basically put the chicken mole in the tacos, make little chicken mole tacos, and actually have the rice on the side. You can do it however you want. That's just personal preference. I've got some, basically some cilantro, some chopped up peanuts, and the little toasted sesame seed that we're just going to topple on the very top of it. See how this is looking. Looking pretty good. Just get this chicken all warmed up, and then we will be ready. Looks really yummy. I'm gonna bring a plate over, and we're gonna bring our little side things over also. I think I'll make a little bit like this with the tacos, and I'll try some with the rice also. So for the rice part, you just basically just get a bowl, any kind of bowl. We're gonna use this festive looking bowl here. And rice is done. Take some rice. I usually make this fresh, this rice fresh. It's really good to make with just fresh cilantro, lime juice, a little chicken broth. Today, cheating. So you just put the rice in here. It'll come out. Really hot. Take this back a little bit more. So get the rice out like that. And you'd come over here and you'd get a serving spoon of some sort. This will work. And then you just basically top the rice with the mole. Nice big scoop like that. It's perfect. Maybe a little more. And then garnish it with a little bit of these peanuts. A little fresh cilantro on top. And a little bit of the toasted sesame. It's gonna be so much easier with the tripod next time. And there you have it. Chicken mole. And it doesn't really take that long to make. And then for the other side, if I was gonna make these tacos, it'd be very similar. I basically just take some of the chicken, put it into a little taco thing, like this. A little bit of the peanuts, fresh cilantro on top. And I'm gonna give it just a quick little try to see how it turned out. Let's see. So good. It's got the spiciness from the chipotle, and then you have the sweetness from the peanut butter and the chocolate. It's really well rounded. It has a very deep taste character. I think this is a keeper. You guys try it out yourselves. Let me know if you like it. If you hit like, then I'll know. If you don't like it, then post a comment. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.